But we'll just get started. My name is Jennifer Lindstrom, as I mentioned earlier. I'm the manager for housing partnerships at the University of Maryland, and my role in this process is to manage some of the back-end processes as well as determine eligibility and priority for South Campus Commons in the Courtyards. And I'm here with some esteemed guests from Commons and Courtyards. Jared, if you want to introduce yourself to kick it off.
Yep. My name is Jared Trujillo. I am the leasing manager at the Courtyards. I just oversee the leasing process for the Courtyards.
Virgil?
Hi, I'm Virgil Sermon. I'm the manager of administration in South Campus Commons.
Sierra?
Hi, everybody. My name's Sierra. I am the graduate coordinator over in off-campus housing services.
And Sam.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam. I'm a leasing coordinator at the South Campus Commons.
Great. It's wonderful to have you all here. Jared and I are going to take turns running through these slides with you, but I'll give you a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about today. In the first half of this presentation, Jared is going to give you some information about both South Campus Commons and the Courtyards and what those properties have to offer. And then I'm going to take over and get into the nuts and bolts of the process for finding housing in South Campus Commons and the Courtyards. And like I said, please, if you can, leave your questions to the end because we're going to go through a lot of information. And then if you have any questions once we're done, please feel free to ask. Virgil, Sam, and Sierra are going to help out with the management of the Q&A. And we hope that we can leave you with a lot of information and knowledge about leasing in South Campus Commons and the Courtyards. Go ahead.
So I'll get started. So the Courtyards and South Campus Commons are a public-private partnership student apartment community that's located on the campus. So that means that the university has hired Capstone on-campus management to oversee and manage the properties. Leasing of the properties is determined by resident life. And the next slide will go over some of the differences between South Campus Commons, Courtyards, and the residence halls. So these are some differences. So with South Campus Commons and the Courtyards, you sign a lease directly with the property. So it's really separate from the university system. Leases will be signed directly with the properties. With that, nothing is charged to your Berkeley University account. So you will be setting up a resident account at both properties. That's where you will be paying your installments. You are not required to have a meal plan. However, if you choose to get one, that's up to you. But you are not required to have one as both properties feature full-size kitchens. Also, your lease includes holidays and semester break, so you do not have to leave during Thanksgiving, winter break. And in the summer, if you renew your lease, you're also available to stay during the summer as well. So what is included? At both sites, all utilities are included in the installment rate. So the price that you see is the price that you pay. That includes electricity, water, Wi-Fi. Both sites also feature fully furnished apartments. And the kitchens also are fully stocked with refrigerator, stove, dishwasher, microwave, garbage disposal. And both sites also feature full-size washer and dryers in each unit in each floor plan. Next, we will talk about South Campus Commons. So there's just a little under 600 apartments, a little over 2,100 residents. It's located on South Campus, close to classes, shopping, restaurants, downtown College Park. It's walking distance to a lot of what you would need, 24-hour service desks, secure building access. So you will use your UID to swipe in and out of the building. There is no 4-bedroom, 4-bath options, and there's limited availability with the studios and 1-bedrooms. Most floor plans are the 4-bedroom, 2-bath at Commons. Next, we'll talk about the Courtyards. So we just have a little over 200 garden-style apartments. We have 7 buildings. We're located across the Xfinity Center, so a little bit further away from campus, but we're still fairly close. A lot of residents will bike or use the electric scooters to get to campus or use the shuttle. We have free parking here. Each resident is able to register up to 1 vehicle to park at the Courtyards for free. We also have a fitness center and a rec room, an outdoor pool, and a beach volleyball court. We also have a computer station that residents can use. They just have to bring their own paper. And we offer 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, and 2-bedroom, 2-bath floor plan options. Here you will see the cost that we currently have for the current lease year. You can go ahead and screenshot this if you have it. Rates for next year for 24-25 will be posted early January. They will be similar, but we do not have those rates confirmed yet. But these are the current rates here. So like I said, the 24-25 rates will be posted on our website early January. Installment rates that you see are per person. Leases are per resident. So you just have to worry about your own lease, your own bedroom. You're not responsible for any other rooms in the apartment. Installments are calculated like a car payment. So you get the total cost of the lease, and that is divided into 12 equal installments. That will be due on the 1st of every month. You can pay by check, money order. Most residents will pay online through the resident portal. And then here you do see the dates for the next lease year for 24-25. Commons move-in date would be August 18th, 2024. Courtyards move-in date would be August 20th, 2024, and both have a move-out date of Saturday, July 28th of 2025. So here you see the utilities comparisons between us and our competitors. You see to the left, you see Commons and Courtyards offers the most utilities included in the installment. So keep in mind that if you're looking at these other properties, you will have to pay more in addition to the monthly payment because utilities are not included in all of these properties. And the next slide, you can see the installment comparisons between us and our competitors. You can see the bold, blue, and orange represents Commons and Courtyards. And you kind of see how we compare across our competitors and that we are the most affordable housing in College Park.
Thank you, Jared. I'll take it from here. So eligibility and priority is probably the area of leasing that students find most confusing. So I'm going to take it slow and we'll definitely answer questions at the end about this. So the eligibility and priority for South Campus Commons and the Courtyards are governed by the Department of Resident Life in consultation with our student government. Basically, back when Commons and Courtyards were initially built, it was to provide additional housing for our rising juniors and rising seniors who weren't able to renew in residence halls. As such, residence hall rising juniors and residence hall rising seniors are in the first two priority groups. A lot of the times I get questions about how will I know if my application has been accepted. We really look at more about eligibility instead of like acceptance or approval. So basically any student who is enrolled at the University of Maryland in College Park in the spring, and as long as they're in good standing academically and judicially, they are eligible to lease in South Campus Commons and Courtyards. Priority is the order in which students will be able to make their selections. Priority is based first on where you live, and then after that, the number of semesters you've been in college since graduating high school. We don't look at credits at all. It's all based on how many semesters post high school a student has been in college. And that's any college, whether it's been exclusively at University of Maryland or if they transferred in in their second year. We would count whatever time they've spent at that previous institution in their total number of semesters. If a student studies abroad in the spring, if you live in the residence halls and you study abroad in the spring, you retain your on-campus or residence hall priority. So if anyone here is planning on studying abroad in the spring and are currently living in the residence halls, your priority wouldn't change during your study abroad. So there are 5 priority groups. There's actually a 6th, but we don't talk about it because that's the group of students who missed the deadline, which I don't want any of you on this webinar to do. So like I said, group 1 is residence hall rising juniors, and that's students who are in their 3rd or 4th semester in the spring semester. Then group 2 is residence hall rising juniors, so 5 or 6 semesters. Group 3 is residence hall rising sophomores, 1 to 2 semesters. 4 is rising fifth-year seniors, which is 6+ semesters, which we don't typically see very many. And then Group 5 is off-campus students, and that includes the Greek houses because they're not affiliated with the Department of Resident Life. So Commons Courtyards apartment selection is the process by which the majority of students sign leases in South Campus Commons and the Courtyards. The entire process is online from the application to the selection and lease signing. The selection opportunity is dependent on available spaces. So the number of spaces we have going into apartment selection for new students is based on how many students decided to stay in either South Campus Commons or the Courtyards. So basically, current residents have the first opportunity to select to either stay in their same bedroom or transfer to a different apartment. And then any vacancy that's left over after current residents have had the opportunity to make their selections, they go into the apartment selection bucket. Students can select as individuals or in groups of up to 4 because the maximum number of spaces in our 2 properties is 4 people. There's no way to say like if a group of 1 or a group of 4 is going to have a better chance at selecting. Selection is based, the availability of apartment is based on your group size. So if I'm in a group of 2, like in this example in the picture, if I'm in a group of 2, and I'm the group leader, I will be able to see spaces in apartments with 2 spaces available, whether that's a completely vacant 2-bedroom apartment or a 4-bedroom apartment with 2 returners. And this screenshot on the left-hand side is what students will see when they log into the apartment selection module. They can select from either property and then see what's available based on their group size. So starting with the application is how students will get into South Campus Commons or the Courtyards. The 2024-2025 Commons Courtyards leasing application will be available on Monday, November 13th, and it will be due on February 8th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time in 2024. There's no benefit to filling it out earlier or later. Between the November 13th and February 8th, that's just our opportunity to collect people's applications. Anyone who doesn't meet the February 8th, 11:59 deadline, so if they complete their application on February 9th at midnight, they will lose their eligibility. Sorry, not their eligibility, their priority. So if someone is a residence hall rising junior that fills out the application late, then they'll actually go into that 6th group. In that sense, they will have to select after all other groups have made their selection. So it's really important to get this application in on time. There's no exceptions. We give students 3.5 months to fill it out, and it's a very quick application to complete. So even if you don't know if you want to live in South Campus Commons or the Courtyards, I encourage you to fill out the application. There's no charge to fill out the application, and there's no obligation to sign a lease. So the application is really just to say, hey, I'm interested in possibly living in South Campus Commons or the Courtyards. After the appointment, the leasing application deadline, we'll do some work in the background to get appointment times ready and visible in the StarRes housing portal on February 16th. And this is really important to note that receiving an appointment for apartment selection does not guarantee that a space will be available to you in either property. Over the last few years, there's been more interest than there are spaces available. So this isn't a guarantee, just getting the application. Particularly, I would say for rising sophomores, we really encourage you to go through the room selection process. There's a huge amount of options on campus, including apartment style residence halls, that you would have a better priority for. You're still welcome to log in at your appointment time and see what's available. but do know that many spaces will go to, the majority of spaces will go to juniors and seniors. After you have your appointment time, you'll also be able to form a group if you choose to. Like I said, groups of one are completely acceptable. We will also be hosting a roommate mixer later on in February ahead of apartment selection. So if students do want to try and connect with potential roommates, we'll be able to have that opportunity. Selection will occur on February 21st and February 22nd. And then that's when students can log into the apartment selection system at their appointment time and select from available vacancies. If a selection is made, the DocuSign and confirmed that a DocuSign lease will be available in StarRez pretty much immediately after that confirmation button is clicked. So the students and the roommates can go back into their application and view that that lease and sign and initial where indicated. It's a DocuSign lease, so it's pretty easy to fill out. Once that lease is submitted, an email will go out to the student's guarantor. This is someone a student will name on their application. The guarantor is a person that is willing to take over financial payments if the student can no longer do so. The guarantor must be 21 or over and cannot be another student here at Maryland. But they would receive the email, and then that would be also signed electronically through DocuSign. One thing to note about guarantor forms, when the student completes their application, a note will go out to the email address that the student indicated. I do often receive bounce back emails. So if you know you're going to be your student's guarantor, just make sure that they're filling in the right email address for you. So like I said, apartment selection is the main way students get into South Campus Commons and the Courtyards and sign leases. There are other ways. Right now, the one way we do it is to be pulled in. So Residence Hall Rising juniors and Residence Hall Rising seniors, as well as current residents, are eligible to be pulled in by a current resident. To do so, you start out like everyone does to filling out the 2024-2025 leasing application, and then also fill out the pull-in form. In turn, the current leaseholder will list anyone they're attempting to pull into their apartment. We've also have a mixed gender leasing option. I'm not going to go over that today because we are looking at maybe changing the process a little bit. So in future presentations, we'll have more information about that option if you're interested in living with someone of a different gender than yours. So dates to remember, the most important date, oops, I missed one in my update. Oh no, sorry, no I didn't. So we're gonna have some tours. If you've never been to either of the properties, we'll have tours on November 14th, 2023 from 4:30 to 6 p.m. That's gonna be in both properties. I really encourage you to visit both properties if you haven't before, just to see the differences. They have a very different feel. So check those out. You don't have to make an appointment for the tour. You can just show up in the clubhouse at the Courtyards, and I believe in building 5 for South Campus Commons. The 24-25 application is due on February 8th by 11:59 p.m. It will be available on Monday, this next Monday, the 13th. So I would encourage folks to fill that out right away and just kind of set it and forget it, as they say. Again, group formation will take place between February 16th through the end of the apartment selection process. The virtual apartment selection process is February 21st and February 22nd, and then signed leases are due on February 26th. Here's our contact information if you want to take a quick screenshot of that. If you have any questions about the properties, please feel free to reach out to that property specifically. If you have questions about eligibility and priority, you can reach out to the PPP leasing email. That's one that I manage along with my students.